And hello everyone! So today we'll continue so-called Cycle of Blood, but, well, actual original name is Broken Sword, Direction Card. As I remember, we finished around 30% of the game. Almost the third part. Almost, but obviously not. At the very beginning there were a lot of additional stuff, additional puzzles, and I must say they were slightly better than in original. I also a little bit increased the sound, so it should be a little bit loud, so let me first of all enable notification as my chat, and let me check the sound. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 testing. Okay, music is fine. Yeah, music is pretty loud, I believe. Okay. By the way, what is the difference between continue and restore? By the way, I believe in the original game you could actually die, but not in remake. Yes, 32%. Okay, here it is. Here it is. I want you to say something so I can check the echo. Should I mute myself in this game, or I can simply skip it? 1 second. I believe there will be an echo. Let's check this.
It was Nico's photograph of the man we suspected of killing Plantar.
Chicken. Yeah, there's some echo, so this means I must continue it myself. Well, that is the problem. That is the problem. This microphone picks up only some kind of speech or some specific sounds that sounds like speech. Okay. Oh, I remember this place, and as I remember, we just need to check only one single scene in this museum, and that was all in original, but I don't know about remake. It's not necessary to speak to you, but let's do this, and I will mute myself. Yes.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Are you Labino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Labino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it there. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Okay, I was checking the sound. Sounds pretty good. Now. Seriously, it's very hard to set up the sound at some PC games. Very hard. On consoles, same. Okay, so obviously it's useless to speak this, and this looks like a funny thing to ask everyone to use, but obviously we can use it only once on someone. Let's try.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
So yeah, okay, let's ask him about. Wait a second, it's a script, and this one, I don't remember. We saw it on the manuscript. No. I think it's just mark or signature of Templars. So if I click on it, he will ask about Templars. Let's check.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
Oh, very funny, because I believe everyone knows about Friday 13th. And it's famous not because of the movie. It was famous even before this, and it's an legend, or maybe it's a true fact, that all these Knights of the Templars were killed on Friday 13th. That's how this date became unlucky. Anyway, let's continue.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Although people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
What does this tool mean to you?
That belongs in a museum.
Pardon?
It is a priceless historical artifact, if I am not mistaken.
No, it's a plain old tool for lifting drain covers.
He's definitely not a scholar. Yeah, it's very hard to comment something when I mute. Anyway, let's continue.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
I guess not. Do you recognize this red nose?
I don't think so.
What do you make of this tissue?
It is absolutely disgusting, monsieur.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Oh no, I don't frequent places like that.
Do you recognize this ID pass?
No.
And that was all. He was useless.
Thanks for your help.
By the way, we can open this? And this? And this? Wait a second, why it's action, not a... Okay, let's click on it.
Attention! Please do not open the
I really
windows.
don't want to
Don't you
move
think it's
myself
kinda stuffy in here?
Better
every
stuffy
conversation.
than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just
I'll
that.
do this.
There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill, and the fat falls on the open flames. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled, and it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
Okay, looks like there's no echo in this case. But, seriously, how can we... It's not possible to increase the music volume anymore, it's maximum. Same for speech, and... Looks like I must increase the sound on my PC, and at the same time decrease the speech volume to... I don't know. Anyway, right now, sound is perfect.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript.
So
A
we'll
notice
need this,
identified
isn't
as
it?
15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marn at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Why should we keep voice down? It's very strange. Okay, I don't know about this range, but in every game, in every, I don't know, movie, I saw that United States, you should not speak loud in library? Why? It always was a question to me. Same as here, so now at museum you cannot raise your voice up. Why? What's the reason? Is there anyone around here? Nobody. What was... What? Wait a second, why did we do this? And this?
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years
It's not a
old.
closet.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
But really, did we just try to destroy something? Let's look at it.
The totem pole looked distinctly out of place in the setting of the museum.
Okay, but we check it, that's all. Let's go back. Hello here. You're the one click on the interact option. But I thought that he will examine it, say something about it, but no, he was trying to, I don't know, destroy it. That's what's very strange.
Hi, I've been to the Kroon Museum.
Did you speak to Lobineau?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay, we need
I
this.
found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch
So we're going to Ireland.
I have heard of Lochmarn. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marn. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a 4th series of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marn must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
That I won't be going. I want to follow up the Belota case. If you really think Pegram's dam is important, why don't you visit Lochmarn?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly?
Wait a second, you don't know where is Ireland? Anyway, this is Cycle of Blood. How it was named in the United States, of course, not in the rest of the world. I don't know why, I don't think that Broken Sword was some kind of trademark. And let's continue.
Hey, Nico, shake hands with me.
No chance, Buster.
Let's take another look at the map.
Wait a second, I don't need to look at it. And I cannot go back, we must check everything again. Oh gosh,
Look at that.
They're between
I can't believe this.
the night through my...
It was highlighted
There's
like
a-
we didn't talk about it, but it's
There's a-
totally the same. Okay, so we must go to
have
the
to
island.
go.
Let's go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Here it is. And wait a second. Of course, you're American, so you don't need a visa for a separate country, isn't it? And obviously it was before the Schengen existed. And I still think that nowadays for the Ireland you need an additional visa. Schengen will not work. And by the way, this is my country! Wonderful! It's so rare to see it, because usually it's some kind of part of USSR or Russia. Hello, elegant weapon. But no, now it's here. So see, France is pretty close. You can spend around maybe 8 hours to trip here, which I did by car. And by the way, it's not quite right map, because you can travel here across this water around, but there's nothing here, just water. Okay, the map is not very accurate, but there's different way. Not just by continent, you can travel around as well. It's connected. Here it looks like not connected, but it is. Oh, by the way, can you travel to United Case by car? Does it have some tunnel? I'm not sure. Not very sure, but here you can. And let's go. Few hours later, but of course.
I passed the castle on the way into Loch Marn, the castle where Pegram's excavation was located.
Okay, what can we see? Magnificent food for you. And what? It takes me 24 hours straight of driving just to make it to my home state? Wait a second. From which state to which state are you traveling? 24 hours? It's kinda a lot. Why are you doing this?
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Ah, from California to Arkansas. Yeah. Arkansas is very close to me. Last year I was traveling here, what was this? Some kind of diamond hunt where huge amount of people just trying to dig the earth and find some diamonds, but I believe there's no diamonds at all. The only ones that they can find just dropped by the owners. So it's fake, I think. Let's talk to you. I don't know, what are we looking for? We just saw a
Hi there.
tripod, so we must get information about
What's
tripod.
your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
Kid. I'm a detective?
Rosso's the name. Murder's my game.
Is you a detective?
Let's just say I'm here to find the truth.
Cool. Just like on the telly.
Cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I, see what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin, heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him, Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year.
And what is it? I've been diamond digging in Arkansas. Not nearly as much fun as digging for crystals there. And I was not digging, I just look around and that was enough. Oh yeah, I also make a loop in the forest and it was much fun than digging anything. Ah yeah, we are trying to find the castle.
What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No,
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
Let's keep asking. By the way, who is this? Is it his father?
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you
Pegram?
describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
Okay.
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Ah, let's keep
Can you
asking.
tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No, I can't because he's not here now, but if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure? Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the films.
Wait, it's in this case anyone can enter this castle and find something.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Back to school, he looks
Oh,
like 40
there's
years
a
old.
ghost. It's
ma'am.
called the Phantom of Loch Man.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting. Like O'Brien's
So it was just
pig,
noise,
only
not a real
worse.
ghost.
It was coming from inside the castle.
Oh, let's talk again.
Did you find out what was making the noise in the castle?
No fear. I just sat there on the wall like Humpty Dumpty. The moon was cracked and greasy like an old dinner plate. The yard was full of shadows. I could have been hiding anything. I would have gone home, but my legs had lost their stuffing.
Did you get to see the ghost?
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
Why is so long conversation about
I'm
ghosts?
sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Okay, I think that's all. Oh, let's ask about him.
Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character.
Hmm,
No,
as I
I
expected.
never seed him.
Oh, this one.
Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on. I just want to show you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do tricks. Father Mahoney told me I'd burn in hell if I did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's all.
No way.
Nobody want to shake it. Okay. What about this?
Do you recognize this matchbook, McGuire?
No, sir. I never seen it before in my life.
I believe it belongs to friends. That's all.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Okay, can we walk somewhere? For example, here. This is the castle? Closed, obviously.
Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to start working out.
Oh, maybe it's not a castle, let's ask you.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say no?
It doesn't look like him. It's actually a different cut.
A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. But if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
It's not old. 600, it's nothing. Wait a second, it's seriously nothing. In comparison to any European country, castles usually more than 1,000 years old. Yeah, but 600 is 6. It should be. Okay, in this game it's certain it's 14th century. 14th century, it's not a history.
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, but I wouldn't trust him. His eyes are too close together.
Just because of this?
Would you like to shake my hand?
What is this? I don't do that male bonding stuff.
What do you make of this matchbook?
Seems ordinary enough to me.
Ordinary? For me, it's unusual. No, really. This match it's definitely not European one. Maybe they from the United States. Oh, there's barely anything over 200 years old here.
Do you recognize the name on this card?
I can't read that little writing.
And I think it's useless
I
to
have to
speak
go
to you.
now.
And nothing, click here. So was it a castle wall or not? And why do we need to go inside here? Okay, maybe in the basement we can get into this castle. And nothing on the left. Okay, let's go inside. Oh no, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a second. This looks like this main hero from the King of the Hill. Let me talk to you. It's definitely him.
My name's George.
No, okay,
Meet you,
not
mister.
in the
My
remake.
name's Fitzgerald.
Not on this picture.
What can you tell me about the castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
What about beer?
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no, thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Why so?
Shake my hand.
It's a trick, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right. I can't seem to fool anyone. Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes, when I was a kid. Then one of the little ones fell off the wall, broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right.
And What is this picture? It's castle with what? Dig inside?
Did you work at Professor Peagram's dig?
Oh yeah.
What gave you that idea?
I'm more than sure that everything is useless except maybe this photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I'm sure I don't know him.
Maybe he had never been here.
See you later.
Okay, can we check anything except token? What is this?
It was a beer-stained piece of toweling.
Wait a second, we just stole it!
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with the words, Nagopolian stout builds body.
Fiddle. By the way, wait a second, fiddle it's... Isn't the fiddle it's a violin when you play country music? Oh, you fix it with violin! Let's check him.
He wasn't listening.
Your country boy. By the way, in Russian, violin is totally different instrument. This one is definitely a fiddle. A fiddle. Wait a second, I don't know how to pronounce it. Violin is much bigger. Smaller than contrabass, but definitely bigger than this.
Hello there. My name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
Wait a second, why can we talk about this man here? Violas. Violas. I'm just thinking. Violas and violin. In English it sounds familiar, but in Russian language, everything, simply everything, every single instrument, I mean, from this, like alt is also alt, which a little bit bigger than violin, just a little bit, 0 centimeters, sounds more like bass instrument, but they has nothing common in root, seriously, nothing. They are all different roots. And by the way, let me check from which language originally this word came. Let's open it on the wiki. In Italian it's violino. Okay, so the English word we know, but what about Russian? By the way, in almost every single word in Russian came from another language. They almost have no original Russian words in modern Russian, of course. And the old one language is totally forgotten. Oh, so it's Slavian word. So it came from Eastern Europe. Okay, it's definitely not a Russian language, but it's very close. And its meaning actually is let me translate it, because I know the meaning. It's Greek. So this instrument in English has the same name as in Russia. Should be a cricker. That is it. Okay, let me continue. So why can we speak about this man? Okay.
Do you know Sean Fitzgerald?
Yes, I do. What do you want with him?
I want to talk to him about working at the dig.
I can't imagine anyone employing Sean Fitzgerald on a dig. He wouldn't know a post hole from his elbow.
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful spectacle.
So it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh no, I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Wonderful.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea.
What?
With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
I don't get it.
Are you saying these Templar guys invented bank charges?
In a manner of speaking, I suppose they did.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh yes, they were arrested and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
Hmm? Well, linguist. I'm not a linguist.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it?
Wasting your time on
Back to the 10th
language
century,
history.
Most of the existing
It's a
building was
waste
added
of
much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
Oh, tripod.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found at the castle?
Now there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Gem? Why is there no dialogue about gem?
How can I get into the castle?
Well, those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Do you know where I can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that. But he's gone from the village. A sore point with our esteemed host, I might add.
What is my dialogue and who's him? We can talk about Barton though?
Why
Why?
is Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest, that's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bill. Poor Michael's seen red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Can you tell me more about the landlord?
Mick Leary? He's what you call a would-be sophisticate. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory.
I never worked out why he did that. It's much too dark in there to read.
That's true. Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in Braille.
Should we check the door?
Do you know where Pegram has gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmar. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down, we can get back to normal.
Okay, finally we can talk about gem.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
No.
Oh no.
Thank the Lord for that.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no you don't.
No, we don't. Why can we talk about this towel?
Does this towel mean anything to you?
Sure, it's one of Leary's towels. Are you planning on stealing it?
Just borrowing it, if you must know.
I'm not blind. I stole it already. Okay, is this photo?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nope, I've never seen him before.
Alright.
Goodbye for now. Hi, my name's Stobart, George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
Shake the
May I
hand.
shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill me beer if you do.
What do you think of this towel?
There's a fine piece of cloth if ever I did see one. Such craft must surely come from linen cupboards of the Vatican itself.
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them history fellows yourself?
Okay.
That's right, Professor Stobart, Miskatonic University.
You're an archaeologist, and you're asking us about the castle.
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien. The gentleman was talking to me. How come you didn't leave with the others?
I didn't know they'd gone.
Oh, yes. Packed their spades and shovels and away they went.
Seems I missed all the excitement.
What excitement?
What? I don't know.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Do I know him? Do I know the good professor himself? No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
It's the science of archaeology, Pat. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons or flavored condoms, more likely.
Did anyone from the village work at Peagram's dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of them put together?
Do you remember seeing Sean Fitzgerald at the dig?
Let me see now. I think me brain box needs a spot of lubrication.
What are you talking about? Beer?
Can I buy you a drink?
You most certainly can.
Give me a drink for my friend here.
Who? Doyle? Has he conned you into buying for him? Shame on you, Patrick. Same again.
Just a point this time, Michael.
1 point of brown coming up.
Do you remember Sean Fitzgerald now?
I can picture the scene as if it was only last week. Come to think of it, it was only last week. Fitzgerald was there all right. Him and a bunch of students. He was speaking with the boss man.
And that was all. Very useful information.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
It's a handsome mug on that fella, to be sure. Is he a film star?
Obviously not.
Bye for now.
Waste of my time. What about you? And what are you eating? What is this?
Hi there, old timer. What? Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a sinner. Pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Okay, wait a second. So you was not eating it, you was holding this. What is this?
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, sure. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Alright.
Hey, would you like to shake my... no, on second thought, forget it. Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
That's the scrawny fellow who was poking around at the castle, isn't it? No, I don't know him.
No new information. Why are you wasting our time here?
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochbarn Castle is haunted.
That's what the kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's
Public?
no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right.
It's not a one to the public.
Nothing human, anyhow.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure. With me very own eyes.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wee stunted beast. Long beak. Straggly, flappy wings.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal? A rabbit or a skunk or something?
Skunk? In Lochbarn? That'll be the day. No, that was a ghost, to be sure.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochbarn.
Oh,
Can I buy you a beer?
very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Alright, so I think that's all.
I'll see you later.
The only last man that left is this one. Wait a second, did you... What?
Top of the morning.
And what
to you.
the... Oh
I
gosh.
beg your pardon.
This game
That's
full of
what you
bugs.
Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something?
Or you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
Yes.
That's not a bad idea. Do you have a vacancy?
I could, if you don't mind waiting until the last guest checks out.
No problem. When will that be?
When the Undertaker comes to collect him.
Hey, bartender?
Landlord, if you don't mind.
Sorry. Shake my hand, why don't you?
Now, why should I do that? What have you got up your sleeve?
Nothing. Come on, just shake my hand.
Not just now, mister. I have to be careful on account of the health restrictions.
Oh, jeez.
Wait a second. You saw it? This guy was smiling. He just disappeared for a second. So, I don't believe it was an original game. So this remaster, which was released 11 years ago, or even 12, full of bugs.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural
He disappeared again.
ingredients to traditional methods.
And here it is again.
It shouldn't be kept under pressure or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and worn with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
Maybe he's definitely a ghost. Why do we need to talk about Clown? Obviously, it's not related here.
Have you served any, clowns recently?
No, you're the first today.
Thank
Do you
you
know a
very
man
much.
called Pegram?
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his, by any chance?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to track him down.
Me too. That son of a bitch should be locked away.
Did Pegram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 nights plus breakfast.
And where's him?
Do you recognize this man?
No, I don't. What do you want with him?
I've got a score to settle.
I don't want any trouble in the bar, mister. If it's a fight you're looking for, see Father Mahoney.
A priest? A man of the cloth?
Sure. And he teaches the boys how to box at the youth club. According to Mahoney, it develops character. Isn't that right, Pat? Didn't he teach you the art of pugilism? Doyle.
Sorry, Michael. I was miles away. What did you say?
Never mind.
Alright, so we must find him. And where's
I
him?
gotta be going.
Okay, there's nothing else to do. He just picked up the item. Last... No, we already talked to him, but let's check
Mr.
one more time.
Fitzgerald?
So see, a new option, as I thought.
Doyle told me you definitely worked at the dig. He's seen you there. You might as well admit it.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the social
What's going on here? Look at this! Look at this!
Well, I was claiming benefits.
Oh no.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here.
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he?
Wonderful, this game is broken.
So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it.
I believe he
Came
is
to
already
me
dead.
Early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquez.
Where's this package?
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
I'm from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem.
Is this happen again? Okay, looks like he was killed.
Hey, I just seen a big red...
But I heard.
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been runned over.
Get out! Noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
Let's go. So where's the border? And this is open now.
Telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding my own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I. And I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass. But the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and hit him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Okay, so it was this guy with this. Oh, how can I say?
Of the man we suspected of killing Plantar.
Scar on his face. And now I understand why we should open it, because gem fall down. And looks like he opens this parcel. It was a gem inside. How this will help us as well.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
I didn't get it. One more time.
It was impossible to return the switch to its original position.
Why should we do this? How to open this one?
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside.
Obviously, this tool will not help us. What about towel? No? Wait a second. So we cannot use it at all? Wait a second, what can we do?
It was a trap door in the sidewalk. The plastic cover had been smashed and broken away, revealing a switch.
Why do we need to use the switch? What is it doing?
It was impossible to return the switch.
And return to its original position. Let's go inside and check. Everything is working. Should we talk to somebody again? Wait a second, we can steal this, isn't it? We can.
Look, I gotta be going.
Let's pay close attention and steal it. Maybe if it's possible. Just need to wait. A little bit. Come on, do this. Or should I re-enter? Yeah!
As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed this piece of wire.
We did it!
It was a short piece of wire, twisted into a rough circle.
So, can we use this wire? No? Oh, wait a second, why do we need it? Well, I don't know how to use it. Can we use this wire to open this door? I don't think so. That was nice indeed. What about this? Oh, seriously, what can we do? I don't remember. Because last time I played the original was...
So I see. What now?
When it was? It was definitely Wait a second. Before 2004. It could be 2003, maybe 2. And right now it's 21, so around 19 years ago I played last time. But we have a new dialogue here.
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket.
Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
Okay, you may be right.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
Okay, we did some progress. Now we can climb this, isn't
Strode
it?
off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay. The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
So what can we do? I cannot go there. That's right. I'm more than sure that it's not possible to use anything. Yeah, we cannot use items. And there's nothing else to do. Alright, alright. Useless. Useless.
On the back of the cart was a crazily stacked tower of hay bales, leaning precariously against the castle wall.
Can we do anything else here? I don't know, we must find some other items.
Hey, McGuire,
What?
did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmar? They all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown suit. And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy and tries to warn the sheriff. Only no one believes him. Why is it the clown? The clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for a kid like you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Wait a second, what?
Right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Did
What
Fitzgerald
is this malarkey
drop
talk?
anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It
How do I
all
switch
happened
it?
so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight.
Okay, if we talk about this item.
What do you think this wire could be used for?
Stealing cars. There's only one problem.
The local policeman?
No. Nobody in Lochmarn got a car.
What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't scare me. Anyhow, I'm only borrowing it.
You're pretty cool, mister. For an old guy.
You say you're 25. And I believe he's the
See
same
you later,
age.
kid.
Okay, mister.
Maybe not. Anyway, so how can we open it? Let's see, there's nothing else to use around, isn't it? Only these two things. Something is missing. But what?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
And wait a second, we can order another beer.
Do you recognize the name on this card?
No. Should I?
Nah, it was a long shot. Does this piece of wire mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Do you recognize
Oh, what
this
do you
matchbook?
about this towel?
No, sir.
May I borrow this towel?
Sure you can, on one condition.
What's that?
You keep it away from old Ron.
Who's Ron?
That's him in the corner, with the hygiene problem.
May I have another beer, please?
I believe you must use the beer somehow.
Same again?
Yeah, please. How is this stuff made?
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honored fashion, suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I can fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician.
Oh, we are
Well,
electrician.
At least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It's that. Hey, it is, we have a car.
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Glass washer? This was a glass washer.
When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Okay, let's check it.
I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug.
Why did you re-enter it?
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring.
The wire. Wait a second, what about the switch?
It was impossible to return
But how can I return it?
its original position.
No, it must be this one.
I used all my knowledge.
You see all your knowledge. Okay, let's use the wire.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire.
You have a
I
fuse
knew it was
inside
dangerous, but I was
this thing?
desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Alright.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
And you shouldn't do this. Because obviously it will start the fire. Kinda next week. Never replace the fuse. What was this? Cat. Okay, there's only one thing that we can use this.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Okay.
I pulled the lever and the bolt creaked back into place.
Wait a second. Is it open something outside?
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal.
But what should we fix?
Appeared to happen.
Nothing, maybe. Let's go back. Can we open this now? Yes, we can.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
By the way, this guy, Khan, definitely saw this little 25 years old boy, isn't it? Okay, how can I get this gem? Can I use this switch again?
It was impossible to return the switch to its original
Maybe not.
position.
Okay, let's go back again. I don't know, maybe there will be more light or something.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trap door.
It's everything automatically.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone.
Uncut?
I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
But we already did everything here, no?
It was the barman's flashlight.
And how will it help me to get into the castle?
It was a large blue gemstone.
I don't know. Let's see, is there anything around? Looks like not. Wait a second, it's definitely nothing. There's nothing to do. Okay, let's go back. Oh, maybe it was. No. No, seriously, nothing. Oh, wait a second. How I didn't notice this before?
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Okay, I believe that we can use our towel here. Isn't it?
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Okay, and close it.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
And what should we do? Wait a second, what should we do with this? Okay, we... Oh, wait a second. No, it's not here. No, seriously, why do we need water? I don't remember. But it's kinda natural that you use this towel on the water. So what now? How can we use it? I cannot use it here. Gosh. Maybe there's some other location around.
Pushing with all my strength got me nowhere. They didn't budge. I really need to start working out.
I don't know. How tower full of water can help us? What is this?
I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock.
Okay. And so what? Wait a second, of course! Oh gosh, of course!
It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
Well, that's all. Well, let's save here. Let's see how far we in this game. 39. So today I want to have at least 66. But okay, okay, what can we do with you? I believe it's not possible to go left. And if we climb this, it will be... Okay, let's go back. I don't need it. Let's try to go to the left, and what will happen? I expected this.
The rope by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
So... did we do what we wanted? Looks like yes. Alright, here we are. What is it? Hmm?
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
Wait, so you almost destroyed it. No, seriously, you destroyed it.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand. I placed my fingers in the 5 impressions left by the fallen stone. It was weird. They fit perfectly.
What should we do here? Maybe nothing. Should you drop it again?
The statue was too heavy to lift.
Alright, let's check this.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris. I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Oh yeah, so we must place it here. Okay, let's use the starter once again.
I swung the...
Yeah, we pick it up.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
And what now? We need water.
I smoothed the plaster level with the sand. It was my first experience of home improvement.
So let's try to use it.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
And now?
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Done.
The plaster cast was a pretty neat replica of the back of the stone, complete with protruding fingers.
Okay, what else can we do? We can enter it here.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
It's definitely not a silence. This is possible super easy. That email, Bank in Paris. What are you trying to tell us? It's another part of remaster? Okay, what is this? Let's check everything.
I had messages waiting to be played.
What is it?
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slonsha. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Coulard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die. I arrived to find
So it definitely was not an original game.
I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
But what is if she is also a killer or something? What are we doing here?
I unhooked the first
Bonus
wire.
content? Yeah, looks like they enlarged the game and made it even twice as longer as the original. I don't remember this. I don't remember that we were playing as Nico at all. It's the third time.
Remained upright.
And last time I spent 2 hours playing by her. As her. It's... yeah.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything. That broken window looked like the best way in.
So let's go.
That broken window looked like the...
Are you going to climb it? Ah.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Do we have something? Oh, wait a second, I have nothing, but we can try.
No. No.
Okay, looks like we must find something, but what?
No.
Let's look around.
Now I'd got this far, I wasn't giving up. I had to find a way in.
So we cannot go back?
No.
No?
Now I'd got this.
Wait a second, how can I open it? I have nothing. So we must use shell again? Okay. Shell! Shell from the shotgun. It's working. I don't understand how. Just working. No, for the whole my life, I thought that shells are soft. It's very easy to do something like we did before with the door. But here it's like, I don't know, it's like a knife. It's like a crowbar that can leave some doors, as it was in the previous stream. So it's universal item tool that you can use for any situation. It's very weird. Okay, let's check what's here. And this door is open.
My God.
Oh, she's
I'm
already
too
dead.
late.
Nothing new.
Imelda. Oh no.
No, she's still alive.
Nico? Don't worry, you're going to be alright.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
Don't tell me that you're my mother.
She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why?
I don't know. Let's turn on the light. We can't? It's not working. So in the first stream, I noticed that there was a switch, but we wasn't not able to use it because it was light enough. But now it's dark and we cannot turn it on. Okay.
Climbing up the fireplace would be futile. The Conchons in happier days. Well, before they were both assassinated, at least.
Okay, let's look at you.
Even in death, Imelda looked the same.
Oh, we can steal this.
Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace. I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key.
It's not gold. Come on.
I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Wait a second. Do you know where is the lock? I really doubt, but wait a second, I know now. It's right there.
In the dim light, I caught the reflection of something metallic. A small, sinister-looking metal disc had been tucked under my father's box. It was a bug. Oh, chère cousine. You left me a little present. You shouldn't have.
And what will you do with this? I don't know.
You don't scare me. Espèce de...
Okay. Okay, it's time to open this thing.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a
So,
perfect match
isn't
to
it
Conchons.
logical that you'll try to open it? You had it several years, at least 5, and never try to open it? Okay, now we can open
I
it.
took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
Oh, so she was on this photo. Wonderful.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box? I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me
So
up.
all three of them were
Imelda
terrorists.
and Carchon grinning. While
That's
behind
right.
them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father.
Well, he looks pretty unhappy,
There was a
so
letter.
okay.
I feared there was even worse to come.
Let's check the letter.
Hotel St. Georges, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the big guys after all.
Yes. So he was pretending to be a terrorist.
He and Imelda
Okay.
must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody.
Alright, and this will conclude Make History game? Isn't it? It is. Done. So bonus part is done again.
I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead,
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars gem.
Okay,
Whoever
now we
shot
must go to the
Marquet
museum and use
is in
it.
for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
And by the way, how it was possible
I want to find
to...
out who, what, or where.
Okay,
Montfaucon
maybe in 19th there was no
All I've got
borders
to go by
and
is
customs?
the name and a picture of a hanged man.
I really doubt. Wait a second. There was no European Union. There was no such thing. So how could you bring it here? It's illegal. I don't understand.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
It was definitely illegal, and you got a new rank. So this gem
There's
here.
a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
Okay, and what about this ball? Obviously we must connect them, so we must go to the museum.
There's a guy working on
On this part I don't know,
the
this
knights
one
through my teaching.
I also
There's
don't know
a-
on this as well.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Well, let's
I
go.
can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinor at the Kron Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Rosso?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
So all this secret story about her father, terrorists and everything, it was not an original, so we still know nothing if you played the original game. We have museum here, apartments, police. For some reason we still have a police, and cafe. And why do we need cafe? And we can go to airport again. Why do we need this police? Why it's selective? I don't think that we need it. Let me check the museum. You're still here. So how can we use it? It's not possible, isn't it?
No, monsieur. No, no.
Okay, okay.
So what can I do? Wait a second, where's the detective here? Let's ask about him.
Sergeant
Something
Moot?
happened.
Yes.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
What?
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lives.
And I think we must go to
See
the
you later,
hospital,
Sergeant.
right? Let's check. It is, yes. Red Cross. It's illegal to use the Red Cross in the games. Wait a second, what is it doing here?
Guilty as I tried the door. Like I was about to rob a grave, I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Oh yeah, you can use it if it's related to the medicine, but not anywhere else, so... Okay. Didn't know that was illegal. It's illegal to make something illegal, by the way. That's what I'm thinking. What's they doing? It's illegal. Forbid some symbols. Especially this one. I don't like this. It's just color. It's just pattern. So why should it be forbidden? Same for other symbols. Copyrighted logo. Copyrighted logo. It's a not piece of art that can be copyrighted. Okay, so we can go here, there, and talk to you. Okay, in this case, why Nazi symbol was forbidden? Is it copyrighted logo of fascists and Nazis? Is it? Why Lithuanian flag was forbidden in the whole world? It's definitely not copyrighted. This country does not exist anymore. Why it's forbidden to use it? What? I noticed that the Madbox in the new release of Doom don't have a red cross either. Okay. It's not just one symbol that's forbidden. There's a lot of them, actually. Okay, let's talk to you. Who are you?
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Really?
If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
No.
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
There was a ninja nurse in the fighting game Skullgirls, and they changed the color of the red crosses in her outfit from red to pink. It was enough for the devs to not get in trouble. Come on, you must fight. You must fight against racism and intolerant things.
I think I
Everything should be allowed.
That Marquet is not what he seems.
That's a chicken.
Explain yourself.
He's in league with a bunch of guys who want to take over the world.
Nonsense. Besides, Marquet's employers have paid in advance for one of our most exclusive private rooms.
But not red crosses.
Could you tell me who Marquet's employers are?
Certainly not.
I will do, in my own game, negative colors. So only when you invert it, you'll see a red cross. It must be allowed, it's not a red cross. But for example, if you wear some specific glasses or invert your monitor, you'll see the true game.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir, I do not.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
And I think that's all here.
Thanks for your help.
How can we go inside here?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
So what?
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Proof. Do we have any proof? Let's shake the hand.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
Who was it? There was also a problem with a transformer called Ratchet, who turned into an ambulance. They had to change the design to remove the crosses. Okay, the question is, why? If you cannot see red crosses around, you'll not trust them. The funny thing was when some have tried to get around the logo by claiming they were actually red X's. Red X's? Anyway, I simply don't understand this. Usually, all the symbols around the world that are forbidden, except the Red Cross, they were forbidden because they associated with something nasty, as the government thing. So when someone says that the Red Crosses are forbidden and you cannot use them, it's like evil terroristic organization to me. Because terroristic symbols, all of them are forbidden to use. All of them. So, if someone's tell me, well, when I first heard that Red Cross forbidden, I thought it was terrorist organization. I thought, really. Well, nowadays I know that it's some good organization, but still. Okay, how can we go inside?
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You must be able to do this. Let's try. Let's try to go straight. Like how Nazi symbols are forbidden in Germany, so games like Wolfenstein 3D had to be censored. Hey, click on the left. So we can go here. What? Why it says that several minutes later? Why? I don't know. That's strange. That's very strange. By the way, Santa Claus is forbidden in Eastern Europe. All Santa Clauses must wear only blue and white robes, not red and white.
The door was locked.
Wait a second, so what can I do? We must enter it. We must. Wait a second, maybe we must ask something new again after we got the information from here.
Excuse me, sir.
No. Nothing. Let's see, we have two people here. Outside is this car. Why are Red Santa Clauses forbidden? And what happens with movies that have the design? I believe you can see them. It's just forbidden to use it in public. You cannot wear the Santa Claus costume and get away with it. You'll be arrested. And why? Because red and white colors belongs to the old Lithuania country. Great Lithuania Kingdom, or I don't know how it was in English. So because it belongs to this country, now it's a symbol of revolution. And revolution is forbidden. Rebellion and other stuff is outlaw. Okay, so what can I do here? There must be something around.
Thanks for your help.
So maybe we can go to some other place. Let's talk to you again.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Okay, let's check the photo.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
What about our ID?
Look at this ID pass.
Why
so
he sounds so
you're Merlin.
loud now?
Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see.
So now we are his
Ward
relative.
B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh dear. He's on Ward J2.
That's what? Reanimation?
Nurse Grendel's ward.
Oh, what does it mean?
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Is it? I'll get a his lurk for the night. And by the way, you can try to use lure command with exclamation mark at the beginning. But see you later. See you next time. Bye. Musical tune that plays when you get something right. By the way, I ordered a beer 1 hour ago. There was a tune, but nothing happened. It was nothing.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's
Sounds very
J2.
complicated.
And good luck.
I think it will be automated.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So let's simply go. See, you're lurking already for maybe 10 hours in total?
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridor.
Wait a second, so we must remember.
It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
I don't remember what she told us. And by the way, I think we can remove this outlet. Unplug it. What will
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing
Why do we
machine.
need this?
The connector in the socket supplied electricity.
Okay, maybe not yet, but in future we can turn it off. Let's speak to you.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the corridors?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years, and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you? I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I
Me
heard
too.
them snorking behind me back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Okay, so let's shake the hand.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I've washed, if you don't mind, sir.
Okay.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
And looks like that's all. Why do we need this guy here?
Do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
I don't know. You must
No,
do something
but
with
I
you.
wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
What about photo?
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
Useless.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
Okay, so let's check this.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
Why?
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Maybe now we can unplug it. I don't know why.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed
spluttered, and died.
Wonderful.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Okay, now we can use the door, isn't it? Come on, let's use it. Or maybe machine. Wait a second, No, go inside. Wait a second. My question is why it was even allowed for him to go there without like proper equipment? And what with his shoes? It's not allowed to use it. You must wear something, some plastic packages on it. I don't know how it's in English, but heels in Russian. But okay. And if we talk to you one more time.
Oh, hi! No whistling, right?
Right. Are you having trouble with Mr. Shiny?
Yes, I am. I don't know what's got into him today. He keeps pulling his plug.
Keep? It was just once. Okay, maybe they expected that we failed the first.
See you later.
Yeah, take
scene,
care now.
first event. Okay, now where can we go? We can go right or left, but I don't remember. Looks like yeah, okay.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You'll need this, Doctor.
Good.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay. Let's check
Thank you,
here.
nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
This one?
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
Okay, let's use this.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
Do you know how to use it? Because it looks like you didn't use it at all. What was that?
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Obviously.
No. What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient?
By the way,
You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
Oh, wait a second. Where's my clock? Okay, let's check the phone. Okay, I have at least 1 hour.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
I don't know. I don't think that it's her job. Anyway, let's show him this photo.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, Doctor. Who is it?
Killer.
Cold-blooded killer.
Okay, so let's find this
Come
room.
back later.
I hope it was the bed number 3.
Doctor!
No way. What is it?
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood
But you
pressure.
did it! Well, we did it wrong.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
So can we go now?
Oh, Doctor.
Come on.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
So what? Do we need to find some instruction for this?
Okay, let's try again.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
But it's very strange. No, seriously, it's strange. How can't you know how to measure the blood pressure? It's, I don't know. People are not really using it in the United States. If you attend the doctor with some kind of disease, it's what they're doing. They're checking it, so you must have an idea, isn't it? You had never been ill? Wait a second, excellent. During regular exams, I do it again. So I can believe this. He might be some kind of idiot. Okay, so what can we do? Maybe we can ask the nurse about it?
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
How to use it?
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Obviously.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well...
No, it's okay. Forget it. Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
Is it?
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What?
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Okay, so how to figure it out? How to use it? Of course I know how to use it, but him... Oh no.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Maybe I can leave now?
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Come on.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money.
Of course it is.
I'll
Let's
come
go.
back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
So now we can leave.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Oh no.
Will you keep quiet?
I'll keep...
I have...
How come? It's because he's...
I'll come...
Okay.
Hi, it's me again.
But, okay, maybe we can use something else.
Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
Can you put him to sleep?
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor.
Wait a second, you actually took it with you? Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alimut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
So that's all. There's nothing else to do.
I'll come back later.
What are we missing?
This guy didn't look sick to me. He didn't have spots or stitches, and he certainly didn't have a fever.
I can't simply leave. So how to do this? No, seriously, how? Okay, I don't know. Can we leave? Maybe I must do something else here. Wait a second. It is! We should leave to see a new face. Who is here? Wait a second, why did we leave? I wanted to talk to him. Yes. And it looks like a bug to me. No, don't go here.
Hi, my name's George Stobart.
Yes, sir? Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
Alright. Can you teach me how to use this?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something.
We just lost this item. Wonderful.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir. I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Shut up, Benoit.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's shake the hand.
Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
Well, I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
Okay, that's all.
See you later.
Right.
So maybe now we can do something because we don't have it.
You haven't finished taking my blood.
No way. Oh no. I don't have it. I can't do this.
Will you keep quiet? You're just...
Same conversation again.
How come he...
I'll come...
Let's see.
Hi, it's me again.
No, there's nothing to do.
Come back later.
Oh no, I hate this. Why did I stuck here?
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Nothing to talk about.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
So what?
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
If we check the first hint, I am not a doctor. How do I get through the... Hi, doctor. Okay, let's check the hint number 1. Head back to the hospital entrance. We did it already. And there was nothing to do. You mean the whole entrance here? But why?
Stop! Come here!
What's going on?
What's the problem, Gramps?
Where do you think you're slipping off to? Get back to work immediately.
Okay, let's talk to you.
Excuse me, sir.
Aha! Just the man. You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bunny, come here, boy.
Okay, something is happening.
This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Yes.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Alright. So now we can use him. And he's not following us. No, looks like he's following us. Just cannot see him. Oh, maybe not. Wait a second, he was here! He was inside us. Isn't it? Yes. Okay.
Hi, it's me again.
No.
I'll come back later.
Let's talk to you.
Hey, Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Finally. Finally it's done. Now we can leave. Oh no. Oh no. Okay.
I'm Dr. Stobart.
Bonjour, docteur.
And who are you?
Would you like to shake hands?
What for?
As a gesture of goodwill.
On reflection? No.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc. Right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was
Why
you.
so?
He has anthrax.
What is this? I don't know. What is this?
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks. Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
Me?
A gorilla and a weasel?
No. This was a tatty old bear.
How was the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I have never seen him before.
And what about this?
Are you Thomas Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No.
Then you won't be needing this.
Okay.
Catch you later, officer.
So how to go inside? Can we simply use the door? Yes, we can. Wonderful.
Marquet?
Yes. I am Marquet.
Me?
I've been expecting you.
You have?
What are you waiting for?
A bar can hear him.
Get it over with.
But we have
I just
subtitles.
want to know what I should do with the jam.
The Lachmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grandmaster. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod. Right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them as for Klausner. He has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about
the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a
It was a
cardiac
killer!
arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
Wonderful. Another death, isn't it? Wonderful. Wonderful.
Hello, George.
Oh, how many people were killed in Sister Master? A lot.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
Look at this face. This icon.
Have you ever heard of the Hashi Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
By the
Pumped
way,
to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
as far as I see right now, this Khan killing only a terrorist and a bad man and women. Only this doctor was a real killer. And this was some kind of revenge or something? So maybe Khan is not a bad person? I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe not.
Okay, what can we do now? That's all. There's nothing to do. Let's go back.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one? Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Okay, so we have only 4 places to go. Museum again, let's check. But I don't think so, because... Wait a second, who is him?
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights
Kinda
Templar
long
was never
conversation,
found?
I must say.
Who knows?
And
So
I
little
know
knowledge
already
of what
everything.
really
I
happened
know the
remains.
history.
Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Wait a second, they could be, because we have an organization that's very similar to it. I forgot what its name in English, of course, but we have it. It still exists. And someone's thinking that it's their rule of this world, but definitely not Illuminati. And hello, Starlight here. Hello there.
I think you ought to know that the
And this is the game that I requested for you.
The Lochman tripod? No.
But not this
It's
one,
true.
exactly.
I can give
The
you a
original one.
description of the thieves.
Before this
So-
supposed event has taken place?
I heard
You're telling them
planning the
animal is
They're
spicy
wasting their
meatball of
The
lamp?
tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, lamps are tasty. If you eat meat, of course.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
So what? Let's join them.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too
Basically, I
willing to
didn't play
die
Assassin's
for the
Creed, but
cause.
I don't think it will be
Instructed in the use of
something
the
like this in
dagger,
the game.
Poisons and disguise. Then the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
And I believe it's not related to the Iraq
They were
and
fearless and deadly.
this part of the world.
Assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world
Because
today.
who will create
You
a game
tell me.
about future terrorists, isn't it? I believe it's also will be forbidden like a red cross and other symbols. I don't know, I didn't play the game.
Where was the
But I
site?
believe it's not related to the royal
To
history
the
at
northeast,
all.
near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Ah oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarret.
Ah, I know it
So,
well.
you didn't ask her? Okay,
Just as soon as I can.
wonderful. Let's use a handshake.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
Not now, Georgia? Okay, what about this photo?
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
No? Okay, let's go. Oh, no, Gem.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Why?
You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter.
And this might be all.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So, what else can we do? Wait a second, it's a new location. Definitely it's a new one. Who are you? There's so many people in uniform here.
Excuse me, officer.
Officer? This?
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Okay, what about handshake?
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
And I think that's all. He was useless.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
He was useless. He was? Wait a second, every single man is doing something.
Hello
Maybe
again.
we should
Hello
show
again,
him.
monsieur.
Nose?
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Take a look at this.
Ah!
No, it's useless. Oh,
I'll
wait.
see you around.
I'm wasting my
Oui,
time.
monsieur. I'll be there.
Have manhole. We have this way. It's definitely an exit on the left. We'll check what is on top. Wait a second, what is this? Oh, I believe there will be some puzzle with this man, isn't it?
A stone knight lay at the end of a row of 4. I wondered if this guy had died in combat. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
Spanish bell?
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported.
Okay, I think we must do something else.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Let's try this manhole. Obviously we can open it. It's kinda very obvious, because we did it already. Here's another one.
In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Okay, it's time to open it.
Hey!
Oh no.
You. What do you think you are doing? Leave that comer alone. Now.
So first of all, must get rid of him.
You stay away from that.
Ah, how can we do this?
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
So we must get rid of you.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no.
Then please put yours away.
You know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy.
Nose candy?
I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
So how to get rid of you?
Does
Just
this
how?
book mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long. I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Let's think. What can be done? So something is missing. But what? You've got to Montfaucon. Why they left the French names of this? Because I can't read them. But the area is deserted except for a cop. What should I do? Deserted, deserted. We need somebody here. Or what? Okay. Let's go to some other place. We still have other things to do. Police station, museum, cafe. Why still we have this? There's nothing to do here. We already finished everything here. Still we can enter it. I wasn't sure that there's nothing around. Yes, there's nothing around. This place is useless. The police station, I think nothing. Let's go to Nika. Maybe there will be some plot
Hello,
here.
Georges.
Let's talk about him.
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
And I think that's so. If we go back to the museum, maybe we'll get new information. Well, let's see. I don't know. Let's talk to him.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nicole's
Yes, I know this.
apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
So, manuscript.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Alright.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
Oh, by the way,
writing
we
on the
know
shield,
the Spanish
the
knight.
reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
And that was all.
Take a look at this nose, Lobineau.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
So, what is left?
Pardon me?
Oui, monsieur?
Maybe you can tell something.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John D. at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
Professor of history, why do you need to be one?
Can you give me any further
I
information
don't
about
think
the
that's
tripod?
Certainly, monsieur.
rich guys.
It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John D.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. It is
Nothing
the
new.
uniform, I guess.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask
Wait
me-
a second,
they ask
we
where I
heard
am.
about this
Of course
dialogue.
not.
Let's skip it.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
Which one?
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Okay, so we learn about the alarm
Thanks
system.
for your help.
It might be vital, okay, if we go right now back to the streets. Here, maybe something has changed? Nothing changed. Okay, I don't know in this case. Let's check everything here. It's always hard if you don't know what should be clicked and what should be examined. And right now I'm here, I don't know.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess.
This is definitely must be used on tripod. And anything else cannot help us. Let's check again here.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
So how can we use it?
I could have just taken the... But I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing it, other than... On the end of the staff...
Nothing new.
Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Let's step aside, I want to check. It's definitely one that we need, but what?
The scroll was a symbol of scholar.
So nothing new. What about this on the left? We check the right one or the left one?
A stone knight lay in full stone. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard
In the
work.
same dialogue that we saw. Oh,
A
monologue.
stone knight lay... I wondered if this guy...
Nothing new.
I didn't recognize...
Nothing new. Okay, there's nothing to do. So what is missing?
I didn't have time.
We must get into this manhole, isn't it? Of course we can use the hint, but I don't want to. Something we didn't check. What? What exactly? Let's ask the policeman.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
And that was all?
Would you like to shake my hand, Sergeant?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur. The gesture could be misconstrued.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Wait a second. I don't know. I don't know. It definitely must be done here. Okay, let's use this hint. Right now, you might be better off elsewhere. The planet chef of the tripod from the museum should be... Yes, but how can I do this? The museum is still... Okay, let's go to the museum. It must be closed and we must be inside to make it possible. So, what? We can hide inside this shelf? How did he name it? I don't remember. This is sarcophagus.
Leave it alone.
Close it.
That closet is over 3,000 years old.
So we must go inside, but how can I do this?
It's a sarcophagus.
He's not looking. Let's try again.
Don't even think of climbing in there, monsieur. You'll be suffocated.
I don't know how to distract him.
I always wondered how it felt to be a mummy.
Something must be done, but what?
Watch out! You'll have that done on top of us! Watch out!
No way.
No, monsieur.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Why it's so complicated?
Attention! Please do not...
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. And the fat falls on the open flame. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled. And it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
So we must open it, isn't it? So let's try again.
Don't open it. Remember the burning cattle.
How to open it? Okay, now we can do something else. Go inside, go inside. We did it! Easy!
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
Alright. Some progress. In what's going on?
Quit fooling around, you moron. Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight.
Can we do something? We can, but I better save. And what is our current progress? 55%. Just half of the game. I wanted 66 today, 67.
What the? Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Oh, what just happened?
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't
Wonderful
think so.
adventure.
You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shit their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Okay, so let's use it.
Is there something going on between you and Labino?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this. The clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
So get off my case.
And how can I use it? Okay, maybe not now. Maybe now we can go to the streets and use this manhole. Let's try. Not this one. Yes.
I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
What?
Hey,
what is this? Don't tell me that you're trying to redeem this reward. And by the way, it could be a killer. It could be this one, isn't it? What?
How did you learn to be a juggler?
Juggler? What is this juggler?
It's you. You juggle, that makes you a juggler.
No, I am a jongleur.
Of course he's
a
jungler.
What's that?
Mon Dieu. A jongleur is an artist, a master of the contragravitic aeroballatic mysteries. In centuries past, the courts of the crowned heads of Europe and the jongleurs, witty, erudite men.
No, by the way, when will be the next walkthrough of the Reaper?
Wait. Let me get this straight.
To get the true ending, which is the best one?
Plague ravages the land and the peasants are revolting. Thank God we've got Chuckles the Jongler to throw his balls around. I don't think so. That juggling doesn't look so difficult.
Oh, it does not, does it not? Perhaps you
The
feel
wise?
better. No?
I'll give it a
No,
try.
you didn't.
I guess.
I believe Catherine is true killer. She must
I
be.
had no idea what I was doing. But this guy was obviously an idiot, so how difficult could it be? A lot more difficult than I thought. That's how difficult. Still, it was my big chance to be derided by
What?
complete
When does this happen?
Not so easy after all, is it?
No, I guess not.
I don't remember this. Some kind of malarkey talk, isn't it?
Hi again.
We?
On your
What did
boss
you
streams
decide?
of it. It was not. It was definitely not. You are.
Look, a red nose.
Ah, you are a clown.
A clown?
No, if so, you would be a
Is
much
it?
better jongleur.
For a moment,
Where?
I capered around near
On
the
YouTube?
spotlight of my attention, but fell down the pothole of abstraction before I could focus on it.
Wait a second. Let's.
It didn't seem right to
It's a
fry
handshake.
somebody's palm when they make their living with their hands. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Le Templier? Ah, their last Grandmaster, Jacques Dumoulin, was
On your
burnt on an
240
island in
terabyte hard drive.
1314.
Wow.
The maximum hard drive that I
Pretty
saw
well
was just
educated
5
for a juggler.
terabytes.
No, monsieur. I read it on that
If
board
you see
over
the
there.
high number, usually it means it's fake. It's just 2 of 5 terabytes inside it. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the model.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Wait a second, can I mix it in my inventory here?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We somehow should get rid of you. How?
Excuse me, officer.
Okay, now we have more option. What? Okay, send it. Why is it available for the second time?
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Ah, you are a clown.
Do I look like a clown?
No. Although you juggle like one. Now, if I'd known you were a clown, it would have been amusing. And not a humiliation for you.
What do you mean?
Whoever heard of a plainclothes clown?
He had a point. So you're saying that if I juggle badly with a red nose, I'd be the king of comedy. But if I juggle badly without it...
You look like a pathetic loon. Oui, monsieur. You have it.
You have a point. Let's try
I'll see
again.
you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Hi again.
Oui? What is it this time?
I'd like to have another try at juggling, please.
You have gone on a crash course, perhaps?
No. I just had an insight into presentation.
Huh?
Allow me to demonstrate. The balls, please.
If you insist on completing your humiliation, monsieur.
Okay, now for my secret weapon.
And we won.
The juggler was speechless with rage. You could have mistaken him for a mime. And without a word, he collected his balls
And left.
and left in a fury. Hey! You forgot one of your balls! Hey!
And
But he
why do we
didn't
need
hear.
this ball?
Better still, deprived of his entertainment, the gendarme decided maybe he ought to do some policing for a change.
Finally. Finally. Okay, let's use this. I don't understand why do we need it. What's going on there? Why it's a boat here? Wonderful, splendid. No, seriously. What?
The wall had flaked, and anything once written on it had long since gone. The inscription was hard to read, but I made out Templier and something about innocence.
So can you use it to open this doors? I don't
My
know.
medieval French isn't much, but the few words I understood seemed to say, "This is where the gallows used to stand." Maybe.
We can go there. I didn't check the boat, by the way. Let me check everything first of all. You can use it, isn't it? Okay, now
The hook lay in a bed of chain.
can we use this on chain? Can we use this on the wall?
Nothing hollow there.
Ah, yeah. Let's use it here.
It was time for some brutal destruction.
We just destroy it.
Hey,
Some piece of art,
that's
ancient
hollow.
sin.
I'd poked a hole in an historical site. If any archaeologists came by, they'd lynch me for this. There was some sort of mechanism hidden inside the wall, with a lever in the middle of it. Here goes. The secret door had jammed. I couldn't get through that gap.
Again.
I'd pulled the lever right over. I'd pulled the lever.
And so what do we have here? Wait a second, I didn't check what is on the left. Oh gosh, there's so many variants what to do. Okay, what do this? Oh, wait a second, what is this? And this brick wall looks like painted.
I pushed against the door, but it seemed to be locked.
Okay, so to unlock it, we have nothing. Okay, there's only one way left for us, isn't it? So, what is it here?
In the beginning was the end.
What's going on here?
End wrought by our enemies began our darkness. In the end will be a beginning. An end to our enemies heralds our new day.
Report. The military establishments are in flux. The end of the Cold War has left them with no clear goal and as obvious targets for budgetary cuts. We have successfully promoted a sense of betrayal in the upper echelons. They feel that the politicians have cast them adrift. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Good. Mademoiselle?
Governments are giving the corporations more respect than their own citizens. A groundswell of dissatisfaction and dissidence is growing. The corporations are becoming too large and complex for their own executives to control them. A blind belief in market forces is accelerating this trend the world over. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
The global population's belief in those that govern it has never been lower. We have inculcated a sense of immediacy and action over forethought and planning in all the major governments. They are acting on hasty decisions that cannot be completed or revoked without appearing foolish. The pattern is emerging. Our time is now.
Excellent. The tired old governments are dying a slow death from their own incompetence and our machinations. Professor, where is the broken sword?
As we discussed last time, with the loss of the manuscript, our search is as a corollary hindered.
And as discussed last time, you have been furnished with a dramatically increased budget. What have you been doing with our money, Professor?
We are working on the principle that the Templars, that is to say our predecessors,
Hold on. These are the Templars?
must have left a trail when they were hiding the clues to the sword of Baphomet's location. I have a small army of historians and archaeologists ferreting out that trail.
I trust these historians and archaeologists are more trustworthy than your friend Pegram.
Pegram was loyal. He tried to protect the Lochmarn gem when the Hashashin came near.
And failed. And don't call that Syrian maniac the Hashashin. He's an assassin. Plain and simple.
That's not what he believes. He actually thinks.
Silence! Do I have to remind you that we have a
So, as I
sacred
said, he's a good guy.
A trust.
And they're not.
When Philippe attempted to destroy the Order, we lost the sword and our power with it. Now we have the opportunity to reforge it. But time is short. We need results, not petty bickering, not excuses. Now, Professor Baphomet.
Yes, of course. My apologies. We will find Baphomet and the sword, manuscript or no. We have already found another element actually within France.
Excellent. What is it?
Well, we're not exactly sure at present. Ha! But I have my best people working on it. You would do well not to criticize others, Eklund. At least I have not murdered one of our own.
Of course. That guy was the bogus doctor in the hospital.
Marquet was a liability. Eklund dealt with him on my orders.
I beg your pardon, Grandmaster. I did not mean to.
Have you any good news for us, Professor?
We already know 3 of the elements. We know that Klausner had obtained the lens before he vanished.
Where was he?
Syria. We know that he arrived, but after that, nothing.
The assassin.
I fear so. It's a shame. Klausner was a good operative.
This will be our last meeting in person until we locate the sword of Baphomet. I hope that I don't need to emphasize the importance of finding it. Without it, our endeavors come to nothing. With the sword reforged, we will have the power to sweep the stage of all opposition the next time that we meet. It will be to become the princess of this world! Wow!
And they swim away. And what did he say? You remember the days when I had shot her? Someday this will happen again. Someday, but not right now. I'll better avoid any communications with outside world except... Wait a second. What is this mechanism? Except maybe stores or something. Let's better wait a little bit.
Boy, had I ever made a mess of that door.
All this vaccination stuff. Oh gosh. There was previously another virus. What was this? Polymate. I don't know how it was in English. It started in the 50s, ended in 80s, but still, around in 80s and early 90s, I got this vaccine and I was ill for several months. So it's better for me, I think, not to use any vaccines because they're not working for me. So if I stay away from everyone, it will be better. And we got 57%, it's still not at 66 or 67. Must continue. Okay, let's go there.
The water seemed to belong to an underground river or something. It was way too deep to belong to the catacombs.
Catacombs. And this is famous cycle of blood or what? No omnis morior vero e tenebris. A tenebris, by the way.
In the middle of the circle was a stump of stone, a shaft of daylight from the world above lancing down to touch it.
And why do they need a sword? Actually, they wanted to claim the world, but how? How the sword can help? And I believe we can place a tripod here, and
the tripod's feet fitted neatly into the notches on the top of the stump.
And the gem.
The light falling from above struck the gem and scattered in 5 neat rays. And each ray picked out a letter. Starting from the left, I could read M-A-R-I-B. Marib. Now all I had to do was figure out what the heck that meant.
It is? We solved the puzzle.
Nico, I've seen them.
Who?
The Templars. I spied on their meeting in the catacombs.
And you saw the Knights Templar?
I saw a bunch of guys masquerading as Templars. They're after something called the Sword of Baphomet. The bogus doctor was there, the guy who killed Marquet. The manuscript is the key, just as we thought. It shows the way to the broken sword, whatever that is.
And how does the assassin fit into all this?
He's out to stop them. These
yes,
Templars,
I said he's so alive.
In influential positions. Don't you see? Plantar was one of them. The assassin killed him for the manuscript, to stop them finding the sword.
But now we have got the manuscript.
Yes.
So, how do they hope to find the sword?
I don't know. They said something about a lens and a guy called Klausner who's gone to Syria. But they didn't seem to realize the significance of the very site of their meeting. You see, after they'd gone, I discovered a stone pedestal and a carved inscription. I set up the gem on the tripod, directly below a beam of light. The gem split the beam and lit the letters M-A-R-I-B
Marib.
Marib is a village in Syria. You're not thinking of
Oh,
going
well,
there
it's
yourself,
very
are you?
dangerous to be in
Why not?
Syria.
These guys are crazy and dangerous.
So assassins
That
are from
reminds me,
Syria.
we should leave the gem here.
Let's remember
What
this.
about the tripod?
I'll send it back to Andre, anonymously.
Hashashins. Sounds like Japanese, huh? Yeah. Sounds like.
Just how long have you known Labano?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresh air. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
And as for Syria,
So he
you
is.
must
I
have
rarely see
visa.
him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much.
You must.
A
But I
little
believe
less
we
fat at
can
the front,
get here
perhaps.
without problem.
I'd forgotten how much fun he could
Come
be.
on, stop this talking. Let's go. And why do we need a ball?
Do you
Anyway,
think
let's
I should
go.
go to Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
Let's go. To the airport. Yeah, it's a long way, but if you check from my country, it's very easy to get there by aeroplane. By car, how far was? No, I never traveled here south, but I think it's... yeah, it's possible. Here, just several years ago there was war right there, so it's better avoid this pass. I don't know what it's about right now, but they're constantly in war here. Another war was here against, what was this? Georgia and... what was this country? We was talking about it on another stream. Anyway, so they might be still in war. I'm not sure. All the Eastern Europe, all the... I mean, not just this. All this part on the south, they constantly war with each other for no particular reason. I don't understand them. So yeah, one of the safest places in this world is actually United States. And by the way, why do we have this villa in Spain? Let's check it out. I don't understand. How did we get the information about this place? Spain, isn't it? Well, I think we must go to this kind of Marib. I don't know how it's worded in English.
I'm no student of architecture, but the little building looked old.
But let's check this place.
Summer house.
What? This is summer house.
I'm no student of architecture, but the little building looked old. I wondered if it was some sort of summer house.
As this is very small building for a summer house. It more looks like storage to store the inventory. This is on the left, is summer house.
Hi, is this the Vasconcelos house?
Who wants to know?
I could tell the old coot was going to be trouble. My name's George Stobart. I was wondering whether...
The house is not open to the public.
This is the Vasconcelos house.
And what business is that of yours, senor?
Look, all I want is to speak to the head of the household.
There is no household. Only the Countess and myself.
Tell me about the Countess de Vasconcelos.
She doesn't receive guests. That's all you need to know.
You don't even know what I have to talk to her about.
She hasn't won the lottery, has she?
No.
No, she hasn't won the lottery.
A more cunning man might have claimed that she had.
Oh yeah? They might have, might they?
And that more cunning man would have been kicked off the premises. The Countess doesn't do the lottery.
What do you know about the Templars?
Who wants to know?
Are you angling for a bribe or something?
You have nothing that I want, senor, except the pleasure of your absence.
The guy was obviously protecting the Countess against the whole world. But why?
What? Why? Maybe you can use something like handshake.
Would you like to shake hands?
I do not think so, senor.
I want to use it someday.
Do you recognize this man?
No.
I do believe there's nothing in our inventory, so...
I'll be going for now.
Adios, senor.
Maybe it's too early to go there. But anyway, let's check.
The main part of the house was old, but nowhere near as old as the gatehouse section.
If we're going inside the building, let's check what's here. Oh, we can turn off the water, isn't it?
I didn't like the idea of carrying 30 yards of hose around me, so I left it alone.
Is it? It's too early to do this. Let's try to go inside. But something tells me we're too early.
Hey, you.
Yeah? What is it?
You would not like it if people just wandered into your home, would you?
Well, no, I guess not.
Then show a little consideration.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't understand why it's so valuable. Okay, if we cannot turn off the water. So
I didn't like the idea of carrying
it's too early to go there. We just waste our time and money to get there for nothing, isn't it? Okay, let's go to the... What was this word? Reap? Isn't it?
Down the long, dusty driveway was a road along which a bus traveled maybe twice a day. I knew because I'd arrived on one. And no way was I leaving until I'd got something concrete to show Nico.
We cannot leave it now!
Down the long, dusty driveway, I knew because
what if...
no way was I leaving.
So what should be done? Gardner won't let me into the house. I just hope that we did the right choice. You need to find a way to distract him. He seems very focused on that house. I know. What do you have? Oh, we must use the item, not your bare hands that you might use when you was a child to stop the hose and water. You must use something else. Okay. Okay. Let's use the item. Why not? And this item is this, I believe. Working? Yes? No?
My hose has stopped.
Yeah?
See, my hose never stops.
Well, I'm sorry to hear it. It's always sad when an old tradition comes to an end.
Did you have anything to do with it?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm mortified. How could you think such a thing?
Very easily, senor. Very easily. I'm going to find out why my hose has stopped. And that means going into the house. You are not, absolutely not, to go in the house. If you do go in the house, I will set the dogs on you.
Dogs? Can't see any dogs around. Obviously must go inside, so let's go. Let's go. Hide here.
The armor was about my size. I had a mental vision of putting it on and clanking off to see the Countess.
What is it on the right?
Hanging
Hey,
hopelessly
Anna?
on the outside, trying to stop me. Apart from
I
being
can't accept
stupid
this.
and unworkable, it was a great plan.
Why you stop hiding?
The armor was about my size.
I didn't read. I had a mental vision.
Putting it on and clanking off to see the Countess, with the gardener hanging hopelessly on the outside, trying to stop me. Apart from being stupid and unworkable, it was a great plan.
So what should be done? Can we hide somewhere else? Obviously not.
Hey, you on the stairs.
Oops. I know this doesn't look good, but
Look, senor, all I want is a quiet life. A life without mad, house-breaking foreigners in it. Understand?
Look, I just wanted to, use the bathroom.
Leave now, please.
Okay, I'm going.
You failed. Something else should be done. Maybe we can go there. Dogs. Wait a second, it's the only way is to hide here, but for some reason he is not doing this.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Come here.
I know this doesn't look good, but
Look, senor. All I want is a quiet life. A life without man.
It's the same dialogue.
Leave.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's hide away again because it's kind of obvious that we must hide here. But why?
The armor was about my size. I had a mental vision of putting it on and clanking off with the gardener. Apart from being... I love suits of armor. Who doesn't?
How to hide behind? No, seriously, how?
The armor was about my size. I had a mental vision of
Oh gosh.
clanking
We're
off
stuck
the
here.
Countess with the gardener. Apart from being...
Okay, let's check this. I can't get past the gardener again. Hint number 1. If you try and go into the room on the right side of the stairs, the dogs make a loud noise. I didn't get it. Have you tried going to the room on the right? It might have. Wait a second, we were caught because of this. Once you upset the dogs, use the suit of armor to hide behind it and walk upstairs. What if you could hide from the gunner when he investigates the bar? I don't understand it. Okay. Like this?
Hey, you. I know you are there, American. All right, you dogs. I'm coming.
So, wait a second. You notice me or not? Not? Okay. Upstairs. Finally.
Madre Dios. Who are you?
My name's George Stobart. I'm sorry to burst in like this.
You must leave at once. You're not wanted here.
Please, if you just listen a minute.
Very well. State your business, Senor Stobart.
There's been a series of murders, part of some conspiracy. Anyway, the trail led me here.
Here? There is nothing for the outside world here.
Over 600 years ago there was.
What do you mean?
This whole thing ties in somehow with the Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar are dust.
They had a secret that was so important, they went to a lot of trouble to hide it.
I do not see what this has to do with my family.
Your family had a strong connection with the Templars, right? I believe that they have planted some clues here.
Why should I believe a complete stranger who barges into my home?
Just let me have a look around. If I find nothing...
You'll be spending the night at the police station. Very well. Please, sit down.
Finally.
I know your family is involved with the Templars, but I don't know how.
You should be asking how my family were involved, Senor Stobart. The Templars ceased to exist centuries ago. And as for De Vasconcelos, the line dies with me.
I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Okay, continue.
Okay, whatever happened almost 700 years ago. So, if the Templars
It was 600, now 7.
Be in stuff that dates back to the early 14th century.
Obviously.
So, what do you have around here that's early medieval?
Early medieval. Let me think. Well, the house is relatively modern, a scant 3 centuries old. Or, of course, the chess set.
Chess?
That chess set is over 600 years old? It must be worth a fortune.
Indeed it is.
Not that I would part with it, of course.
No, I wouldn't either. That's the sort of thing that gets handed down to your children. Sorry.
Its value is less than you might think. The set is not complete. One of the pieces is a modern replacement. As to the original, it was lost a long time ago.
Nobody has any idea where it is?
No. The children had it when they were taken.
Children? What children?
All in good time, Senor Stobart.
Let's ask about chess.
May I examine the chess set?
Certainly. But do not move any of the pieces.
Okay, thanks. Close up, the modern piece stood out like a sore thumb. There was something else odd about the set. All of the original pieces had irregular bases.
My lady, I have to warn you, there's a... You! Why, I'll feed you to the dogs.
Lopez, what have I told you about feeding intruders to the dogs?
But, my lady...
Never without my permission. Senor Stobart, if I find that you're wasting my time, you will be fed to the dogs.
Wasting your time, but you do
I want
nothing.
to show you something interesting. Follow me. Lopez, unlock the door, por favor.
Is it crypt?
This is the only remaining structure on the estate contemporary with the Templars.
Nice. What is it, a summer house?
A mausoleum, Senor.
Why it's summer house?
Oh.
Come with me.
Obviously it's not.
Hey, senor.
Yeah?
I do not know
wait a
what
second.
you are
In this
talking
case, I don't understand what is summer house for Americans.
Trust you.
You've got nothing to worry about.
And good night,
Aren't you coming
Starlight.
in?
No,
See you
the dead do not
next time.
interest me. My garden is
Good
a
dreams.
living thing. I will be there.
Wow, this is old.
It was constructed in the 13th century as the final resting place for the De Vasconcelos Templars.
It's well maintained.
These are my ancestors, and they deserve it.
Yes, but how should they look like
Once
in
a week,
USA?
say a prayer for them.
Mind if I have a look around?
By all means.
So you using it primarily for vacations. In Europe they using it the whole year because you must grow some food here, vegetables, fruits, some other stuff. So you must take care of it the whole year. But not in winter. So 9 months, it's definitely not a vacation time. It's a work. You're working here. I really hate my summer house, really. Because of the heat, I was constantly working 3 months a year. All the Sundays and even Saturdays. It was horrible. Trust me. Instead of spend your leisure time for anything you want, you just spend it working. Okay, let's take this. What is this, Bible?
On removing the Bible, I found a pattern on the lectern top. Hey, it's a checkerboard.
Is it?
Close up, I could see that the pattern was made up of glass squares over a checkerboard pattern.
Okay.
A big statuette of the Virgin Mary kept an eye on the place.
What about the stick?
Now what? There was nothing to snuff. Feeling like an idiot, I put it down again.
It's to open and close the window, isn't it?
I couldn't climb up there without breaking something. Hanging from the ceiling was a huge yellowed candle. It looked really old and had never been lit. The mausoleum contained 5 tombs for 5 of the Knights Templar, man-size in marble.
But what are they doing in Spain? And why this one doesn't have any helmet? Okay, let's talk to you.
May I ask you something?
You may ask.
Who exactly are these people?
My ancestors. These 5 men were all members of the Templars.
5 ancestors in the order. You must be very proud.
Not 5, 6.
Where's the 6th knight?
He was lost to us.
How?
You lost an ancestor?
It is a family matter. It can have no relevance.
Well, it's connected with the curse of the Vasconcelos, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I hope you will honor my desire not to talk about it.
Okay, well, I'll leave it for now. Is the Virgin Mary really the right person to be sharing a mausoleum with 5 knights?
You are showing your ignorance, Senor Stobart. The Templars were dedicated to the Virgin Mary.
Obviously.
You certainly know your history.
What's your opinion of the Templars, Senor Stobart?
The Templars? Well, they seem no worse than a lot of the knightly orders.
You are mistaken. Compared to the simpering politicians of the Hospitallers or the brutish Teutonics, the Knights Templar were the embodiment of chivalry. The filthy, money-grabbing French king and his pet pope did a great wrong. A bane settled upon my family at the whim of that self-seeking tyrant.
It was all a long time ago.
Some things don't die. Injustice is one of them.
Is it? I mean, if it's die, it's everything else. The history rotten, so... Okay, let's continue.
What's the story with the glass chessboard?
Glass chessboard. Oh, the pattern on the lectern, purely decorative, I'm sure.
There are pieces of glass missing from it.
Oh, it has been like that since I was a girl.
And we can continue talking about this board. What's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah,
The
chessboard.
gaps in the glass chessboard look awfully deliberate.
No, it is ridiculous. What possible significance can it have?
It's part of a chessboard, and the gaps are for...
Senor Stobart. You cannot mean...
This place was built for the Templars. Your chess set is as old as the Templars. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it?
Oh, let's use them.
I think this must be it. This is what the manuscript is pointing to.
This is extraordinary.
Okay, so it will be a puzzle. Or not?
Am I to understand that the Templars left a puzzle here? And in all of this time we failed to realize that there was a puzzle?
It was wonderful to watch the Countess change before my eyes.
Right. Well, no time for wallowing in self-pity, eh, Senor Stobart? This mystery had a good long run, but it ends here and now.
All those years of fatalism were falling away from her.
Lopez! Lopez! Put that hose down and listen! Go to the house and get my chess set. Yes, the old chess set.
Well, but we don't know the solution. Or any hints.
This is exciting, is it not?
Don't get too excited. This could be a blind alley.
Oh,
And I believe I had never played this part.
for a moment.
It's good to see you happy.
Happy?
I was not very
You
good in
know,
quests.
I think
The only quest that I almost finished was Discord Nerve, that we'll play on PlayStation someday, but also I was not able to finish it due to bugs in my translation version, translated
While we're waiting,
by pirates.
I'd really like to know what happened. I mean, the curse and everything?
It all began at the time of the dissolution of the Templars. Don Carlos had already left their ranks to become a scholar.
Don Carlos, is he the guy who went missing?
See, but he had reckoned without the local bishop. Their bishop envied us our lands and determined to use the papal edict as an excuse to destroy us. Don Carlos was on one of his scholarly journeys when the Inquisition arrived. When Don Carlos returned, it was to find his loyal manservant slain and his children gone.
They took the kids? But why?
Oh, we will never know. The bishop denied all
just
knowledge
recall
of the children's
one
disappearance. But witnesses had seen his men kill the servant who had been charged to protect them.
What happened to Don Carlos?
He swore he'd find his children if he had to go to the edge of the world.
He put on his armor and took up his sword and shield and rode out alone. He was never seen again.
Okay, here it is. Let's solve this puzzle.
You have the pieces.
Si, my lady, as you asked.
Por favor, Senor Stobart, would you be so kind?
My lady.
Calm yourself, Lopez. I believe Senor Stobart's motives are pure.
Very well, my lady. My lady seems to trust you.
But you don't.
No, senor.
Okay, it's time for some interesting stuff, I hope.
It fits.
Working quickly, I found which pieces went into which hole.
No! No puzzles! Oh no, it's here. Alright, you know which pieces, I don't know which. Click on any unplaced chess piece and it will turn to reveal a pattern on its base. Likewise, click on any hole in the board and it will show pattern. Each chess piece must be dragged onto the hole. Its corresponding pattern? Okay, let's not read it. It's very easy puzzle, isn't it? No, seriously, it's just much. I expect something better. Now, Japanese puzzles are much more interesting. So we have green, white, blue, red. Green, white, blue, red. Drag it? Wait a second, I want to drag this. No, I don't like this puzzle. I expect something better. And maybe it was not in the remake. Okay, red, blue, red, white, blue, green, this one. Okay. Why it's so hard to drag something? I don't know. This one. This one. Come on, drag it! No, I don't understand. You must hold several seconds to move it. This. Okay, this obviously. Double checking. And it's done. I said it's done, move it!
With the red pieces in place, the square bases fit onto the white pieces. I just had to figure out where to place them.
What? Wait a second, what's now? You must play the same. But where? I don't know. I don't think that they must be in the middle because it must move to the right. Wait a second, here was... Okay, this is more interesting because I don't know. Ah, so... You cannot place them incorrectly. Or you can? Oh, they must be in the middle? Okay. Okay, so... How? Do we need to make some specific combination? Of course we can try and check by using every single combination. That will be very easy without even thinking how to solve it. Isn't it? But it will be not right. So what? If it's really chest, so this skin can be without... Can be placed here and there, but not here. There's two places where I can place it. As for this one... As for this one... Can you place it here? It must be checkmate. In this case, where can I place you? So right now, checkmate. It is. But it's not a right combination. I don't know the solution. Okay, maybe there's some other place where I can place it. Only in the middle. Okay, it's on the top. But why?
Bingo. I mean,
You make that checkmate. To whom? To whites? To red? I believe you already made a checkmate.
Senor Stobart,
Okay, maybe I was wrong somewhere.
It's not the Holy Grail, is it?
No, Senor Stobart. It is the communion chalice of the De Vasconcelos, missing for almost 700 years.
Wow. Well, go on.
I cannot. I can hardly believe it is real.
Go ahead. Live a little.
Are you sure? This is your moment of triumph, Senor Stobart.
Sure, I'm sure.
Sure, I'm sure.
The possibility of death traps only occurred to me a few days later.
Yes.
So the curse of the De Vasconcelos is
We
lifted?
finish it. I hope it will be
The Countess was thrilled to
66%.
find the lost chalice, but there's still the riddle of the missing knight.
Well, you can forget about that now and get back to finding the Templars' secret.
Actually, I promised the Countess I'd find Don Carlos.
You what?
I can explain everything.
You have got the odds for a withered old Spanish aristocrat?
The Countess entrusted me with the chalice and the quest for her ancestor's tomb.
You're as crazy as she is. Haven't you got enough problems? Khan and the Templars?
It's all part of the same thing. The chalice is important, I'm sure. The manuscript pointed us to the knight, and I have to find him.
What then?
I don't know. But when the knight and the chalice are reunited, maybe I will.
Okay. Now we can use... we can go to this different
Do you
paths,
think I
isn't
should
it?
go to
But
Marib?
Syria is a long way, Georges.
again, Marib. So if I... Okay, I cannot save on this. Do we have anything new? Oh, wait a second. Now we can use it here. It's here, isn't it? Let me try. Wait a second, a new person here? What are you doing there? I didn't expect this. Who are you? Hey, Templar?
Excuse me, Father.
You might be.
Pardon?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Not at all, monsieur. It will be my pleasure.
What time
to
is
help
it?
you.
I must finish it. Okay, let's talk.
I noticed that the stained glass window on the left looks more modern than the middle one.
You have a keen eye, monsieur. The original window was destroyed in the last war. It was as old as the church, early 14th century.
Oh, man, that's awful.
Oui, a terrible loss. Still, the church and the other windows survived.
Okay.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
You have come to the right place, if that is your interest. Many of them were executed in the square outside. It was a disgrace to France.
Well, the Pope was right behind it, though.
Clement V was a man of mammon, not of God.
That's kind of forthright for a priest, isn't it?
You think so? It is hard to be sure what happened. It is so long ago.
How long have you worked here?
Hardly work, monsieur. This is a calling. I have been helping Father Flambert for nearly 6 months now.
I guess you don't know much about the history of this church, then.
Just a little.
A little?
You've got quite a shine on that candlestick.
Ah, oui. Anything less than best would be an insult to the Almighty.
I guess so. I never thought of it like that.
Okay, let's show you this.
What do you make of this chalice?
It certainly looks very old.
About as old as this church, I think.
There seems to be an engraving on it.
Yeah? What does it say?
I do not know. It is very tarnished. With your permission, I could try polishing it. I promise I will be very careful.
Yes.
That'd be very good of you.
This shouldn't take very long. Feel free to look around.
I hope
Okay,
you will
thanks.
not steal it. And we must look around. Okay, let's look around.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc around the base.
We already know this.
A scroll was... I didn't recognize the biblical...
But we know everything here. Okay, let's check everything. He said to look around.
Stone...
Maybe we must click on everything.
A stone knight.
And this one, the last one.
A knight. Biblical, I guess.
Okay, this one we... Did I click on it?
I could see that what had at first seemed to be a fine engraved chase per disciplinum.
Wait a second, it's new.
meum lux videbus. Sounds pretty familiar to me.
Okay, let's check it again.
Per disciplinum meum lux videbus. A bit of a stained glass window. Wow. Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary.
Okay, it's part of puzzle,
Had
isn't
been
it?
Pretty optimistic, I guess.
Let's talk to you.
The
Maybe you
priest was
finish.
still busy with the chalice, so I decided. Per discipline.
Okay, let's look at this mosaic.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. I didn't Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted
Wait a
to
second, what should be
sure
done?
nothing other than deported. Per discipline. A bit of a stained glass
Can I do something
window.
here?
Wow. Hoping for a big insight while squinting through a hunk of statuary. Had been pretty optimistic, I guess.
Okay, I don't know. Hint is not working. Okay, maybe it's time to save and...
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. On the end of the staff.
So what? You must use it.
A statue of a knight holding a staff, and the statue had an...
Can I use something on it? No, I cannot. Oh, come on, what is this?
The priest was... I didn't recognize...
What am I missing? Something must be clicked here.
A stone knight laying... A stone knight. Some...
But what? Oh, come on.
On the end of the staff... On the end of the staff was...
We must scroll
on
something.
the end of the staff...
Can I use this? No? Okay. Uh, First of all, there's no hint for some reason.
The priest.
Oh, let me check a little quick. Because... seriously, you must finish it. Where's my guide? Let's open the guide. This is it. It's part... What is its part? This? Wait a second. Found it. End of the chapter. Show cards to the priest and let him polish it. Inspect statue nearby. Inspect statue scroll. Use lens on the scroll. Wait a second, we don't have lens. So looks like we must go to the Syria and... Wait a second, what is lens? I don't know. Looks like lens are inside the Marib. Okay, so he will be pollution here. Why will be traveling in another country and spending several days of finding some stuff? So that is it. Nothing I can do. Let me travel. This means, and I really think so, it was some kind of bug that we were allowed to go here because it was too early, I believe. I'm not sure. Maybe there was definitely a choice in this game. But you cannot convince me. I think it was a bug. Seriously, to go with the lens, you must get it from this Marib. Okay, let's travel here. Few hours later. And here, I'm going to save, and I hope it will be a greater number than 60. Let's see. 66! Well, it's not 67, but very close, and I believe tomorrow I'll finish this game. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone for watching this. Let's see, can we rate somebody? Is anybody online? Cheater and gun, playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Elegant weapon pins Kingsway, but he has only 2 years. 4,000 has... Okay, let's just rate somebody. Let me check. Elegant weapon. He's playing a very strange game. It's definitely... I don't know. Let's rate him. Let's do this. Why not? Okay, let me open. Let me open him there. Click on the rate channel button. Select him from list, and that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching this, and see you next time. I believe tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Let's finish this game tomorrow. I will try to start earlier and finish it. Bye.